Warning! This program contains irrefutable facts, unapologetically biased opinions, and shameless homerism for the Southeastern Conference and its teams. Misguided fans of other leagues and teams may find some of the information in this broadcast to be disillusioning, deflating, or even offensive. You've been warned. Kip, Terry, Tony, Legend, Case, and our special guests, we own the airwaves. Saturday mornings, 8 a.m. on Jocks 94.5. It's game time. Saturdays, 10:30, ABC 3340 television. Get ready for the SEC on ABC and get in the starting lineup. And on Sundays, 9 a.m. on Jocks, it is Kip and Terry after a great day of football. The morning after. Football weekend. Total information domination.
Welcome once again to week 2 of the starting lineup. I'm Tony Curry. He is Kip Keefer. You never know who's going to be in the starting lineup there, Kipster. And of course, Stuart Rome, the Woodhouse Day Spa, Birmingham.woodhousespas.com joins us in the starting lineup.
Who I always say when I grow up, I want to be just like Stuart Rome.
No, you don't. No, you don't. Trust me.
He just had a daughter get married last week.
That's right.
Down in New
How about
Orleans.
that?
Yeah,
So-
you'd have to pay for that, you know.
Well, yeah, I had sons. I was a little more savvy than the daughter route. Yeah.
So we have a brand new thing we're going to do here in the starting lineup. We're going to do Stuart Rome's word of the week. He's going to give you a word while he's on this segment. And then next week, Saturday morning at 10:30, I'm going to ask you for that word. And if you're the first person through to call me at 205-542-1848, that's my cell phone number, 205-542-1848. Give me a call, and if you give me the word, you'll get a $100 gift card to the Woodhouse Day Spa. Give me your word.
Should I tell them?
Let's do it. Let's do it, yeah.
Massage.
Massage.
Oh, I thought it was
massage,
a secret.
Massage is the word.
Now I know the word on my
So
eligible.
next week at this time, when I
Yes.
ask you to call
Thank
me
you.
at
He won't know it,
542-1848 with the word of the week, you'll get a $100 gift card. I want to ask you both of you off the top real quick. $1.8 billion Powerball tonight.
Yep.
If you win, what franchise would you want to buy? What sports franchise would you want to buy and why, Kip?
I think I would buy the Las Vegas Golden Knights
Yeah, I knew it. Yeah.
because I love going to the games. I love the atmosphere. Some things I like to tweak, and I'd like to spend more time with my grandchildren, and they live there.
And I'd only imagine this would probably be, you ain't going to buy the Birmingham Stallions, are you?
I am not. I'm not dumb enough to buy any of them. I just keep the money and go on vacation. Why would I buy a franchise?
I like that idea better.
But if I had to buy it, well, I couldn't buy them because the Saints are now worth like what, $5 billion. There's no.
Well, yeah.
You can't get an
Just
NFL team.
Just play along with the game, my friend.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm definitely going to buy the Stallions for sure.
You're going to buy the Stallions,
Yeah,
and
but-
you're going to keep them here in Birmingham for as
Yeah,
long as
for
you
sure.
want. There you go. All right, fantastic. The Woodhouse Day Spa has been a great sponsor on Tony Curry Radio for years. We do a show called When in Rome, which is a great game. It's one of the only great shows I do. It's a hybrid where we play classic rock and talk about the Woodhouse Day Spa, but talk about what you guys do down there. You obviously had a location down in New Orleans. You were
Yep.
smart enough to bring it to Birmingham, and it's blowing up, man.
We
It's
love
great.
Birmingham. You know, we're right there in the summit. We have full service, 6,000 square foot spa. We do facials, massages, body treatments, nails. We have relaxation rooms. We serve wine and champagne. It's like a resort type spa, you know. And being in the summit's fantastic because we're right down below there by Sac, so it's not that busy.
So we got to get you to the Woodhouse Day Spa. Maybe Santa Claus will get you something there for the
That would be
holidays.
good.
I know you got all kinds of specials going on. You and I talk at length every single week about the college football season. Obviously, Alabama not starting off the way it wanted to. Auburn not so bad.
Correct.
Knocking off, of course, Baylor the first week. But you got any specials for college football fans out there?
I think we're gonna put something together for the Iron Bowl. You know, we're gonna have to put down some kind
Oh,
of
that
contest.
sounds good.
Yeah, but as far as what we've discussed on the show, you know, college football season is perfect for the spa because the ladies, the girlfriends, wives, whatever that don't want to watch football, the husbands can just go watch football all day long. Get the wives to the spa; they'll be perfectly happy. It's perfect. Charter.
I got you the 8-hour package, baby. Go knock yourself out.
We've got the private party room. You know, you can get 8 girls, 10, up to 15 girls in there, and send them to the spa. Let them have a spa day. You go watch football, and it's a win-win for everybody. Right?
Win-win.
Would that be isn't that nice? I mean, you know, we always say it's better to go ahead and ask for forgiveness than ask for permission.
That's true.
Just go ahead and give her the.
But when you do that, you don't have to ask for
And they got this
forgiveness.
thing, Kip, the 6 for 5, where you get 5 of whatever
That's
you want.
awesome.
You get 5 120-minute massages, right? And then you get a 6th one for free. I don't even know what those run. You get a 6th one for free. You hold on to that 6th one yourself. You give out those other 5 as Christmas gifts, or maybe you give them to your baby and say, here, you get 5 for the next 5 Saturdays. Go to the Woodhouse Day Spa and let me do my thing. You do your thing, and everyone's happy.
Well, and every time Stuart's on, I always tell the guys out there, there's not a better gift you can give than a gift card to the Woodhouse Day Spa, because flowers, they last 48 hours or whatever. Candy, that just makes her not like her figure. This is the guy to go to for the perfect gift that they will absolutely love.
Birmingham.woodhousespas.com, birmingham.woodhousespas.com. You'll also see our good friend here, Stuart Rome, come up with 3 games. I told him he could only pick up 2, 1, whatever he wants to do, but 3 games. He's got $150 in his portfolio. He can spend it everywhere he wants against the spread.
So let's see what they are.
So you want to do those right now?
Yeah, because we got some extra time on this segment.
I'm assuming you got 3 games. We'll do $50 on each.
I just heard about it about 10 minutes ago.
Well, you should read your text on Tuesdays.
Get lost in the shuffle. We're going to do, I'm going with Kansas State minus the 17.5.
Against the Army.
All right, Kansas
Not
State.
Not very reassuring that our Army can't go to Kansas State and triumph.
And Army almost got beat this past weekend.
They sure did by Tarleton State.
Your son had Tarleton State plus the 14. Of course, they end up almost getting that victory. So I like that play so far.
Who else you got, Stu?
And then we're going to do Homer here. We're going to do Tulane.
Tulane.
Minus 10.5 against South Alabama.
All right.
And I am taking Michigan plus.
Ooh.
That's going to be real interesting. I like that. Michigan actually had it written down on my piece of paper. I scratched through it. I do like that plus 4.5. I think Michigan's going to be a little bit better than people think. I'm still not sure about Oklahoma, but I like your play. So, all right, leave your plays right here and we'll be good to go. Birmingham.woodhousespas.com, birmingham.woodhousespas.com, 905-7676.
That's it. If you still use the phone.
If you still use the phone. And, of course, you give the word again.
It's going to be massage.
The word of the week is massage. Right. Next week at the same time, I'm going to be asking you for Stuart Rome's word of the day. And if you say massage, call me at 542-1848, 542-1848. That's my personal number. Call me. I don't care. Just give me a call. And if you're the first one through, I'll give you a $100 gift card to the Woodhouse Day Spa. How's that? From ABC 3340 and from Kip and Tony. How about that? Is that good stuff?
Sounds great.
All right, let's get on it, man.
Hopefully they won't be calling you during the week about other stuff.
Appreciate
your cell phone number.
Appreciate you, man. Woodhouse Day Spa. Check him out. This is the starting lineup.
Good to see you, Stu.
Brother. The Birmingham Racecourse Casino, where a spin could turn dreams into reality. Meet Sammy F., who just won over $70,000. And Orlando P., hitting the jackpot with a whopping $100,000. Feel the thrill of winning and join the dance of champions.
Woo! I'm a winner! I'm a winner! Woo! I'm a winner! I'm a winner! Woo! And you can be a winner too!
Your chance to be the next big winner is here at the Birmingham Racecourse Casino.
Welcome back. I'm Terry Quillian, and in the Coach's Corner today, we have Brian Kelly. Now, I know I haven't always been that complimentary of Coach Kelly. Back in 2022, when he arrived, the whole family thing and then the cringy videos dancing with the recruits, it just really hit me wrong. And so I wasn't a big fan. I also wasn't a big fan of him losing to Florida State in the opening game in 2022, losing in the opening game in 2023, and then yikes, losing to USC in the opening game in 2024. But this year, he pulled it out. In 2025, the LSU Tigers defeated the lesser Clemson Tigers 17-10. Congratulations, Brian Kelly. Have to tell you, I also loved some of the things that Coach Kelly talked about in his press conference. So after the game, Dabo Swinney, when he's talking to the media, he says, well, that game was like a final exam, and I'd give our team about a 58, but I'd only give their team a 65. Neither team played particularly well. Well, that did not sit very well with Coach Kelly, because Brian Kelly came out yesterday, well, a couple of days ago, and he said, hey, either he's a really good grader for his team, or he's a really bad grader for our team, or maybe he just didn't watch the second half of the game. Hey, I think maybe that's it. Maybe he just didn't want to watch the second half of the game. You go, Brian Kelly. This isn't the first time Dabo has said something sort of ludicrous in a press conference. Y'all may remember last season when he got upset, when fans were justifiably upset with some results on the field with Clemson, and Dabo said, I think what we need to do is just lower expectations around here. Well, guess what, Dabo? Congratulations. I think you're starting off the season successfully lowering expectations. That wasn't the only thing that Coach Kelly said that I thought was great in his press conference. When asked about the keys to winning the game, he said that you guys are not going to want to hear this in the press, but the big key was discipline. And he said that discipline didn't start, the day of this game. That discipline started back in January, and it's built on things like players keeping their lockers clean, players being on time to meetings, and that discipline off the field then translates into discipline on the field. Now, I know there are a lot of Tide fans here in Alabama that would like to maybe just lock Kalen DeBoer in a press conference, lock Kalen DeBoer in a closet and get him to listen to those couple of lines from the press conference over and over and over so he would get that idea about discipline. Brian Kelly is not afraid to discipline that team. And in fact, when talking about offensive penalties, he was very clear that those were things that were not okay and they were going to have to straighten that out. And he went on to say that the beginning of the week that the practices were going to be really hard. It was going to be some tough days because they had things that they had to clean up. When talking about the game, he also said that another big key to the game was, Kalen DeBoer, pay attention to this, passion. That the coaches had to be passionate and the players on the field had to play with passion. And we've never seen Brian Kelly lack that. If you remember after the loss to USC last year in the press conference, he came out pounding on the table and saying that he was so upset with the play, that it was not acceptable, and that he as a coach had to do a much better job of coaching the team, which he has done successfully so far this season. Kelly admits it's only one game, but it was a good start in that first game. And so our hats are off to you this season, Brian Kelly. Keep it up.
Security. I understand there's an Auburn man in the Legend Cave somewhere on the grounds. Be aware. Oh! Hey, Birmingham, there you are. I didn't know you was with me this morning. Welcome to the Legend Cave. There's Auburn folks running around. And then, I don't know, but I think I seen a bus headed for Europe with Kalen DeBoer on it. Can you believe it? I think I just seen a Greyhound going to Europe with our coach on it. Have you ever seen anything more disgusting in all your life? I want to tell you, I've seen some disgusting things in my life. But what I seen from the Alabama Crimson Tide, I hear you, Bear already saying amen, was the most disgusting thing I ever seen in my life. 20 missed tackles, players not with any emotion, any fire in their heart, anything going on, but standing there like a mummy with no emotion. That's what we become, Alabama. That's what we are now. A team in the middle of the pack, at the back of the row. That's what we are now. Kellen DeBoer, you need to get out of town. You need to go wherever you came from. Just get alive. We don't want you in Alabama no more. We say, Legend, you're getting too crazy. Well, I got Auburn people running around the Legend Cave. I don't know. When DeBoer is in charge, everything has went crazy, ladies and gentlemen. What happened to Alabama? What happened to the dynasty that Nick Saban's built? This man has come in and tore it down in a year and a half. I'm disgusted. Oh, this is real. This is real as he gets, brother.
War damn eagle.
What?
War eagle.
What?
War
Security.
eagle. War
Security. Security. See what I'm talking about? See what I'm talking about there? Auburn people in the Legend Cave on my grounds. Who was that? Somebody said it was Don. I heard somebody saying Don. Man, see, that's what's going on, ladies and gentlemen. That's what's going on. We put Kevin DeBoer, whatever his name, in charge, and the whole kingdom is breaking down. They asked this week Cole Kublik, and I'm spitting. I might electrify myself because of DeBoer. They asked Coach Kublet asked this week, what can DeBoer do this week to make up for last week? Let me think. Nothing! Nothing! That's what you can do! The only thing you can do for me is pack your bags and get out of town! Do us a favor, Kevin DeBoer! Do us a favor! Oh no! Look! Look!
How about my Auburn Tigers 31 winning by 2 touchdowns? Y'all got beat by 2 touchdowns.
How'd you get in the Legend Cave?
Good question.
Get out of here! I tell you the truth, ladies and gentlemen. I'm firing that security man. He ain't getting no more money from me. And you, Kevin DeBoer, whatever your name is, you don't deserve any more money from the University of Alabama. You don't represent us. It's time for you to go. Get the bus. I'll buy the ticket. Get out of town. We're the Alabama Crimson Tide. We're not Nebraska. You're turning us into the Nebraska of the South, and I will not stand for it. Remember, it's just a game. I got run over by the Gus Bus this week. I got a concussion. Remember, it's just a game. Don't be like the legend. Sports insane.
T-minus 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Ignition and liftoff. We have liftoff of Season 9 of The Morning After. Terry Quillian and Kip Keefer at the controls, delivering a payload of unlimited, invaluable information and entertainment, pinpoint analysis, and unique perspective unavailable anywhere else in the universe. A supersonic show in an orbit all of its own. If you love college football and fun, get on board. Boldly going where no football show has gone before.
Hipster, are we there yet?
On our way, Ter. Definitely on our way. When the Auburn expert does a spot-on impersonation of the Alabama expert, you have hit radio gold. If you missed Game Time last week, Chip Lake delivers this spot-on imitation of the legend. Check it out.
Kip, I'm in sports hell, man. I'm in sports hell. Do you know why I'm in sports hell?
Why is
Because I
that?
never thought I'd say these words, but Vandy is my daddy. Let me say this, Kip. If you can't take the heat, get out of the kitchen. And I love the kitchen. And this might not play well in Washington. It's certainly not going to play well in Alabama. We'll send a U-Haul to your butt if you lose to South Carolina. This is equivalent to coming home and finding your wife in bed with a neighbor. But you would never, ever trust her again. You can't beat the best and then lose to the worst in a 2-week friggin' period. Somebody give me Pete Golden on the phone, and let's see if Pete Golden can't get back on the damn field.
Hey, it's Case Keefer back again for another edition of the Vegas Heaters as part of the starting lineup. I'm a longtime sports bettor, sports betting writer, and assistant sports editor for Greenspun Media Group, which includes Las Vegas Sun and Las Vegas Weekly. Not a whole lot to recap in terms of the Vegas Heaters last week. Gave out some futures, but nothing on game to game. I do have to tip my cap to the viewers of the show. In the first ever Book It or Bet It segment, I went 0 for 2, so shout out to both of the guys who threw me plays. I decided to book them. Obviously, you won. You know who they are, but there's no time to cry over the past. Let's get into some plays this week. I am going to give some plays for the Vegas Heaters segment as well as our competition. We have both the NFL and college football for the first time. What a great week. Usually I go college, then NFL, try to do it more standard like that, but I'm going to jumble them all up here. We're going to go rapid fire, 6 picks, 3 on the NFL, 3 in college, of course, the first 3 in the Vegas Heaters, and we got a kind of a local bent this week. All the plays I'm going to talk about in the Southeast, and the first 2 are in college football, both in the state of Alabama. I know this one is going to turn some heads, but I am taking the local UAB Blazers plus 21.5, traveling to Navy. I'm not going to pretend to be super plugged into the Blazers program, but I am pretty plugged into college football as large, and I know that the hiring of defensive coordinator Steve Russ got a whole lot of plaudits this offseason. Obviously, that's kind of gone away with what happened against Alabama State, but a lot of times the betting market overreacts to those big FCS games. I think if Russ, the former Air Force guy, helps anywhere, it's going to be against another service academy school. Getting 21.5, I think this was probably like 14 a week ago. That's a big overreaction. UAB plus 21.5. from going with an Alabama school to fading the next one. I am going to lay the 6.5 with Liberty going to Jacksonville State. Yes, I know the Gamecocks looked pretty good last week and giving UCF a scare. This is an entirely new team from the team that won the Conference USA last year. I think Liberty is more going to hit the ground running, even though they struggled with Maine. I will buy the dip there, minus 6.5 with Liberty. For the NFL, probably the closest NFL team to Alabama while we're at it, I am taking the Atlanta Falcons. Heck, I would take them on the money line, but for the purposes of the Vegas Heaters, let's go plus 2.5 hosting the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. They beat the Buccaneers twice last year, and they should be much improved this year with Michael Penix at quarterback. The Buccaneers are beaten up. No Tristan Wirfs. No Chris Godwin. I like the way the Falcons are heading. I don't really see them being an underdog here. I made them the favorite, so plus 2.5. The final 3 picks will be part of the starting lineup competition. I went 1-1-1 last week. Let's try to get a little bit better this week. 2 NFL picks for this one. Let's start in Indianapolis, where I am taking the Miami Dolphins at plus 1.5. I just don't really get all the negativity around this team. Yes, they should be bad on defense. I know some people have soured on Mike McDaniel, but he's still a great play caller. When this offense has been healthy, it has been one of the best in the NFL. I'll take Tua Tagovailoa and even an aging Tyreek Hill over Daniel Jones. Are you kidding me? Miami plus 1.5. Secondly, Jacksonville minus 3 against Carolina. Now, I know this is 3.5 a lot of places, but at the time of recording, 2 major sports books still at 3, so I am laying 3 with Jacksonville. I'm all in on Jacksonville this year. I think they're going to be one of the most improved teams in the NFL, and I am not so sold on Carolina. I know they were good at the end of last year. I think they were almost 500 over the second half, but go back and look at some of those games. The teams they beat, they didn't beat one team that was near the playoffs, and most of the games they won for like 2 or 3 points. I still think this is one of the weaker rosters in the NFL, so a team I'm buying on overall. Jacksonville going up against a team I'm selling on. Carolina just too perfect. Jacksonville minus 3, the final game. And I hope you got your licks in. I hope you made fun of him Monday night, because I think Bill Belichick gets some revenge here. Talk about lines that just went crazy. They were a 21-point favorite going to Charlotte after that terrible performance against TCU, all the way down to 13. I think that's disrespectful to TCU. I think a lot of that game was about the Horned Frogs being a real contender this year. They were my pick, one of my picks to win the Big 12 betting-wise. Yeah, I know it got a little out of hand, but only 13 at Charlotte. I think that game helped them find their right quarterback. I think Max Johnson's a better fit than Gio Lopez. I think they take out some frustration here. I think it winds up more 3 touchdowns than 2 touchdowns. So my final pick, North Carolina minus 13 to go with the Jaguars and the Dolphins for our competition. Let's see what the rest of the guys have.
Welcome back to Starting Lineup. We're right here in the cave of the legend, who, of course, you see every single week right here in the Starting Lineup, along with Kip Keefer. I'm Tony Curry. We've got a lot of football to look into. Some SEC games this week, Kip.
Some good matchups, too. Everybody's saying it's kind of a lousy week. Great blue blood game, although neither team has really proven anything this year yet. Oklahoma hosts Michigan. That's a real marquee game on prime time right here on ABC 3340 tonight. But you've also got some compelling matchups. Look what South Florida did to Boise State, a playoff team last week. 34-7. They go into the Swamp to play the Gators. They're a 17.5-point underdog. That's pretty intriguing. Also, we have the first conference game of the year. It is Ole Miss at Kentucky. Remember what happened last year, guys. Kentucky beat Ole Miss in Oxford, and I guarantee you Lane Kiffin hasn't slept since.
Something to think about. Everyone talks about revenge games. Revenge games are a bunch of hooey. That lasts for a couple minutes after the game, a couple minutes before. When you put your pants on, you go out there, you play football. The last 4 games against Kentucky has been a total of 10 points every time. Tennessee, well, not Tennessee, Lane Kiffin was at Tennessee, but anytime Ole Miss and Kentucky play really tight ball games.
Well, I don't know really a whole lot of anything. I got ran over by a Gus bus earlier.
Uh-oh. Yeah, you got tire tracks right here.
I've been in concussion protocol all week, so y'all just continue on. Thanks, Kevin DeBoer. Kevin DeBoer.
He's back to being Kevin DeBoer. Man.
Yeah, you're probably going to lose.
Legend once again blew up this week. The ultimate Alabama fan becomes world famous when Alabama loses. Figure that out.
All right, let's get to our plays. Kai Gregory from Southern Precision Staffing. He has come with Illinois -3 against Duke. Clemson -33 against the Troy Trojans.
Wow.
And Iowa State -3.5 against Iowa. By the way, that over-under is only 41 on that particular game. Those are his 3 games. I guess he's going 50 a pop on those. Kip?
Well, that's the big noon game on that other network, Iowa State. Yeah. I'm sorry, I couldn't stifle that. I'm going to just pick 2 games this week. I'm going to take the Air Oklahoma Sooners, filling the night sky in Norman with footballs. I don't think Michigan. I think they're a big, slow, plodding team with a bad coach. I'm taking Oklahoma. I'll cough up the 5.5. And out west, the UNLV, the Rebels, are hosting Nico and UCLA, who I think is the worst power team in the entire country. UNLV, I think, is even getting 2.5 points, which is ridiculous. UNLV wins over UCLA.
Yeah,
75 on each.
I bet on that UCLA game last week, and Utah just absolutely hammered them.
Crushed them.
What you got, Legend?
Well, last week I found out Arch Manning was adopted and cost me $150. This week I'm going to go with Kansas plus 6.5 against Missouri in one of the biggest rivalries in college football that no one's ever heard of.
All right, and let me preface this. Oh, go ahead.
No, that's it. You go ahead.
Somebody never heard of. I didn't mean to cut you off.
That's okay. There was only one person that.
Yeah, I'm looking at the leaderboard.
Went perfect.
Tony Curry on top of the leaderboard, Legend.
Already tasting
the world's upside down.
He called me this week, asked me what kind of steak sauce I had on the table.
Medium rare, please. I'm going to be taking those Hokies, who I won against this past week. I'm getting the Hokies plus 1.5 against Vandy. I think they're a better team, and I think they actually look good against South Carolina. South Carolina, I think, is a lot better than people think, because I got them going to the playoffs. I'm going to take those Baylor Bears plus the 2.5 against SMU. Baylor got down early against the Auburn Tigers. I think it was 17-3. They were playing from behind the time. They gave up a 98-yard kickoff return. They turned the ball over once. They had another thing inside the 10-yard line. They lost the ball to 9. I think they're a much better team than we saw against the Auburn Tigers. I'm taking those Baylor Bears plus 2.5. And there's no reason why we shouldn't do this every weekend. I'm going to take the UAB Blazers over the 58. All day long. Both them and Navy, the only two teams in their conference to score 50-plus points, over 500 yards of offense. They gave up 520 to Alabama State, for God's sakes. 464 yards in the ground Navy had last week. Yikes. They will rush for 600 yards against the UAB Blazers. They'll put up 50 by themselves. I love the over 58. So those are my 3 games. UAB over 58, Baylor plus 2.5, and Vatech plus 1.5.
Awesome. Like them. I like them.
It's going to be a huge weekend of great college football and only week 2. And can we just sit here for a minute and just remember this moment? Because in about 12 or 13 weeks, we're going to be looking back going, man, what happened to the season, dude? It's already over. Let's enjoy this week 2 moment here. Our 3 brothers, great college football. Pros start tomorrow, which is fantastic. I mean, the whole lineup of tomorrow. So it's going to be fantastic. Who Day. So we're going to get after it and continue to watch the starting lineup right here on ABC 3340.
Kip, Terry, Tony, Legend, Case, and our special guests, we own the airwaves. Saturday mornings, 8 a.m. on Jocks 94.5. It's game time. Saturdays, 10:30, ABC 3340 television. Get ready for the SEC on ABC and get in the starting lineup. And on Sundays, 9 a.m. on Jocks, it is Kip and Terry after a great day of football. The morning after. Football weekend. Total information domination. The starting lineup. Kip Keefer, Tony Curry, the Legend, and Case Keefer bring it every week.
The coaches don't like what's going on.
Fellas, wow. Congratulations.
Weather is of universal appeal. It affects you and everybody watching.
Because you're real, Legend. You're authentic. You've lived it.
You never know who's going to be in the starting lineup.
The starting lineup, 10:30 to 11 on ABC 30.